Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Bolt and I've got the flu, which is a wonderful way to start the 2024 year. But we'll cut our losses, and if you excuse my nasally voice, we are going to be taking a look at my top 5 figures of 2023. Even though I keep referring to it as this year in the video when it's actually last year, please excuse that. Some rules in place. These aren't going to be figures that were released and made in 2023, just videos that I managed to get my hands on in that year. So they could be from any year, any toy line, as long as I got them between January 1st and December 31st. Second rule in place, we're going to try and stick to one figure per series, although number 5 is a bit of a break to that rule technically. But you'll see when we get to that. Without any further ado, let's get to the number 5 spawner list. Starting off at number 5, we have the core class Seekers. Now, I'm sure I speak for many people here when I say that the Seeker distribution hasn't been the best these last few years. I mean, we've had about 3 sets of these guys, 3 different sets, and this set here, the third one, is probably the easiest one to get your hands on. Siege, obviously, Thundercracker was an arsehole, and I, as well as many other people, only have these 2 guys. And with Earthrise, I think it was just Starscream who was easy to get at retail. But these 3, they were really easy to get your hands on. I loved them personally. Only problem I have with them is their size. They are core class, which I don't mind core class. I like it. They work well in comparison with Titan class figures. At the same time, it does kind of suck that the only way you can get a nice set of Seekers at retail was only the smaller guys, and also not a fan of Thundercracker here. Only got that like weird fork thing. If I have those back, so I just like turn him around. Yeah, coming that like weird fork weapon thing, because it was like part of like a builder weapon thing, which meant he didn't have his regular null rays, which kind of sucks, and also means he's like out of place a bit because these guys have them, but he doesn't. Which kind of sucks, especially considering Starscream came out first. So they gave him the null rays, missed him out for Skywarp, and then gave him back for Thundercracker, which is just a bit. It rubs me the wrong way. But those are core class Seekers. I love them, but it's just those little gripes that hold them back from going any high on the list. In number 4, we have a figure who's so bloody big that I can't even have him properly in my review area. He's so just that big, I can't fit him in there properly. This is Gen Select's Black Zarek, who is a Titan class, and a repaint of Earthrise Scorponok, if I remember correctly. I do really like the gold and the black colour scheme, and fortunately, unlike his original toy, this one hopefully won't crumble to pieces. The original figure did have gold plastic syndrome on all the gold bits around the figure, which meant that over time it would just sort of like crumble and wither away. Hopefully this guy doesn't do the same, but as I say, he's a very nice figure. Problem is though, he is the size of a small child, like a small toddler, so he is a bit of a hassle to actually get working. Like I think I transformed him only once so far since owning him, and he basically took up the whole of my desk, which isn't really ideal, is it? He's really just like a really expensive, not really expensive, got him on sale, but a really big statue with some posability, which is nice. But at the same time, I do like a bit of like to fiddle around and have a little posability with my figures. Which this guy, he isn't really the kind for it. I mean, I would definitely recommend him if you were a fan of like the Japanese Transformer series. At the same time, though, there are more figures that I got this year that I would put higher for him because they get that nice mix of both playability and just looking nice, really, which this guy only succeeds in the latter portion. Coming in with the bronze medal is Studio Series Game Boy Edition, SSO3 I believe, Optimus Prime. Now as I said in my previous review, which you can find on this channel, I really like the Cybertron games, and this figure looks almost one-to-one even from those games. I mean, that's sort of the goal of Studio Series, and I think they perfect it to a T. As I say, this guy, he looks wonderful, and he feels wonderful. Obviously, if I was to obviously in nitpicks, I've got Takan. I'm not too big of a fan of the big old bulky chest here, although and also the hand looks a bit odd done there, but that's just because of the gimmick. And also in the vehicle mode, I'm not too big of a fan of that big old gap they leave in the back of the vehicle mode. But as I say, those are just nitpicks. I really like this figure. I say more about it in my, I don't want to say too much about it because I say a lot of what I feel in my review, which you can go check out. But I would like him. Unfortunately, he wasn't, it wasn't really just the fact that I had, he's a bad figure. It's just that there were other figures I got this year, that I liked more. The silver medalist this year, just missing out the gold, was actually the most recent figure I got in my collection, period, at the time of this recording at least. That being Armada Tidal Wave. This guy suffers with the same issue as Black Zag a few entries earlier, in that there isn't really much to do with him in terms of like playability, considering, well, Black Zag's case is he doesn't really have the space, he's too big, while Tidal Wave here, he just doesn't have the articulation and the, you know, the engineering to have a lot of things. But Legacy seems to be changing that this year. I'll say he doesn't really have much playability, but that's really just like the robot mode, because he does like have the feature where he splits in half, splits into three even, do a little Dark Fleet. And also he can turn into just one giant carrier, which is really awesome and sparkle. It just makes my inner child happy. Yeah, he is a lot of fun to just mess around with and take apart the bat together. And because it was Armada, he came with a little Minicon friend, which is, we love the Minicons friends in this house. It was at like 2000s, we got a copy Pokemon kind of deal, so everyone had a Minicon. And I think Tidal Wave probably did it best in my opinion, because his arms turn into like a little aircraft carrier, and that little grey patch there opens like a hatch that opens up, and you can store your a Minicon in, which is just, I love it. It makes me really happy because I love me a good gimmick when it's done right, and that's like the main thing. When it's done right, I like it. But as I say, he unfortunately didn't make the top spot because really there was only one figure that beat him. Before we get to the number one spot, allow me to give you not one, but two different honourable mentions. That being Tonkinator and Rotor. Now, we'll start off with Tonkinator real quick, if I just move it out of the way. Obviously, as you can tell, I haven't yet given him his stickers yet, which is why he hasn't been reviewed yet. But this is literally just the G1 Devastator in a different colour with some Tonka labels and obviously some stickers. Not a bad figure. There's just more figures in this that I picked up this year that I liked more. So get him out the way. And Rotor here. For those who don't know, Vortex is actually my all-time favourite character in the brand. And Rotor here is literally just, I couldn't get my hands on a G1 Vortex, so he was just like my stand-in. Which is why I like him, but at the same time, I just look at him and think he should be in different colours. It just tickles my brain in a way it shouldn't do. That's my honourable mentions. Without further ado, let's go into our number one pick. Those who know me will probably know that my top pick will come as no surprise. Being the topic of this channel's very first debut video and making frequent appearances on my TikTok live streams, the number one pick obviously goes to Grand Galvatron. I mean, I spent 27 minutes at the very start of this channel just singing this guy's praises, really. I love him. We all know I love him. I love combiners. That's my favourite gimmick in this brand. And I love the idea of this guy being this amalgamation of different Decepticons from different continuities just like coming together to make like this embodiment of evil, if you will. As I say, I love the gimmick. I love the colours as well, this guy. Obviously, Ghost Starscream looks wonderful. Still don't know why Roller's on the team, even though I love that figure. Yeah, I just really love this guy. Obviously, to complain a bit, I have to have no complaints because I can't love anything, really. I still don't know why there's an Autobot on the team of purely evil. My other complaint is why didn't they make an Autobot version? I mean, I know there wasn't really many like figures without combiners, other limbs, like torsos without limbs in Combiner Wars they could have pulled from. I think it was really only Cyclonus and White Optimus. But give the White Optimus a team of like all the embodiments of good on the team, or maybe even repaint repaint Cyclonus maybe to make it like a Star Saber. But I'm rambling. I'm getting off topic here. Yeah, this guy was probably my like number one Grail for my collection for about 7 years since he came out, and I'm very happy to have him. Like he was worth the wait and the money I spent on him. I would highly recommend this guy if you can get your hands on him because he is just he's wonderful. I love him. Yeah, I just love him. And there we have everyone. My top 5, technically top 7 figures of 2023. Obviously, this channel and my main one really started to pick up traction in 2023. And hopefully we'll continue making more videos for you guys and get more viewing on the channel. Like, share, subscribe, hit those like buttons, and hopefully we'll see you all in the next one.